building a team around them. So if they get to a certain point in their career that we feel the abundance of brand deals are, you know, just something we can't support internally, or we feel like, you know what, maybe it's time to take you to that next level in terms of, once again, career growth, then we find them an agent at a bigger agency and we stay as managers for them. And then even finding a publicist.
Welcome to the Say Hola Well podcast, where financial freedom isn't just a dream, it is your new reality. On this show, you will learn how to invest your first 100K, build your cash libre life, and break free from money cycles holding you back. I am your host, Lucy King, a first-gen Latina who went from $220,000 in a student loan debt household combined to becoming an angel investor. If you are ready to step into your financial independence, you are in the right place. Tatiana, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm super pumped and I'm excited to work with you because you went from being one of the youngest Latinas to sign with Sony Music to now running a 4 million talent agency. So I want you to walk us through the early stages of how your background with music has helped you launch this beautiful agency that now you have.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, and thank you for having me here. It's a pleasure talking to you, Lucy. And I mean, my agency just kind of started out of, honestly, it landed on my lap. I've been in PR and fashion and music and all of that in the creative space for a while. And Lilac to me was something that kind of came about when I was driving from Las Vegas, actually from a convention. And I actually had lilac hair. So that's where the whole lilac came about. And also my grandma's favorite color is lila, or lavender lilac. So to me, it represented that. And it became now, this like talent agency that I'm like so proud of. And it's such a community build and space for me that every day it makes me so proud and so excited to come into work and be a part of. But Lilac was something that I feel was came from nothing, and I was able to build it to, like you said, a 4 million+ dollar agency. And we're representing a lot of Latinos, diversity, BIPOC talent, underrepresented talent. And it's all a group of female agents and managers, so which is really, really amazing. But I'm from LA, born and raised. And truly, I love what I do every day. And I hope that Lilac can inspire other women in the industry to start their own business as well, or even work in the creator economy space.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about like representation and impact, but I'm super curious to know because a lot of people don't know. And I almost want to raise my hand and say, yeah, that was me too. Like, we don't understand how powerful and how big the creator economy is. So can you like walk us through the numbers of like, because this is so important for anybody wanting to start a new business, right? Like we need to know the size of the market. And a lot of us just kind of say, well, this is what I want to do and I hope it works out. So how big is a creator economy from the data that you have?
I mean, it's a $1 billion industry. I feel like, a lot of people think, oh, and I will say that celebrities are still a thing. There's so many brands that are using celebrities to try and get their products out and their word out and advertising. But creators are also like walking advertisements as well. And, it depends on their content and what they're creating. But, if it's something exciting, if it's something that's changing the community, or, advocacy, I mean, it could be different things, or a talent. Social media is where you can have a voice and be able to speak to a broad audience and build a community, build an audience that wants to follow you and be a part of you and what you're doing, and your life, right? Because a lot of the times creators, I feel like, are kind of like, you see them as besties, like you're like, oh, I want to see my bestie today. Let me talk to my bestie. And it's like a whole group of like all this content that is entertaining. instead of TV, now we're watching, we're on TikTok scrolling. So it is a business at the end of the day, doing something that you love and making money from it. And all these brands, they're wanting to get people like you and I. It's more relatable, it's more authentic.
I love that. Now, I want to talk about the impact that you are creating because you are so focused on essentially being the voice for those of us that are either getting started or those of us who share a multicultural background. So, what are the unique strengths of your agency that no other agency has?
That's a very good question. I think for me, for us, I'm sorry, as like Lilac, like I told you, it's a community and a safe space. So for us, celebrating our clients is the number one thing. I'm sure if you go to our social media, you can see that we're celebrating our clients all the time. It's not really about us. And yes, we put in like this is the services that we can provide, but it's all about the client for us. We're a white glove service, so we are with our clients 24/7, honestly, contacting them, talking to them. So communication is number one key for us. Also, we provide workshops. So we do educational workshops to talk about burnout, to talk about mental health, to talk about brand deals and building a brand and marketing strategy. There's so many different things that we offer in terms of our workshop, and that is included as part of you being exclusive to Lilac. Another thing that we offer is close friends. And so we have a community on close friends on Instagram where we offer social media trends, song trends, different things that are happening in social media in general, such as, like the TikTok ban or how AI is changing so many things in our industry. There's so many different topics that we talk on there. We even do like their PR forms, workshops with other with other influencer marketing agencies. So that's another thing that we offer. And then we also offer the my most favorite is activations. So we usually do music festivals, mixers to meet our clients, to be able to communicate and build that relationship, not only through social media and text, but physically. Physically. I think I miss sometimes that one-on-one face-to-face. I know that during COVID, I think that just changed everything for us. Everything was remote. So for us, that is super, super important to build a relationship with the client. And so that I would say would be honestly three of my top favorites because, brand deals and collaborations and merch and all the business side, the nitty gritty side, like, of course, we offer. But I love that we're not just focusing on that. We're focusing on the person, and you guys are humans, like, and that's how we treat it. That's how we treat everybody.
And I love that. So I recently attended not my first in person event, but the first one to actually be in front of brands.
Yes.
And I don't see myself as a creator, but I am a creator. Like I have a podcast, I do reels, I'm writing a book. And so I literally do it all. But here is what I wish more creators and even business owners will do. And is exactly what you're saying. Get off Instagram, get off TikTok, and go meet with real people because brands are real people. And there is this brand that I literally am obsessed with. Like, I could talk about this brand as much as I talk about Say Hola Wealth. And I had the opportunity to get to know them at this event. And so just learning about how much money they have to invest in creators,
Yeah. It's a big market.
I literally was drooling all over because I want to work with them. And so I have to learn how to talk to brands. And of course, then comes the time of negotiation and all of that stuff, right? So thank you so much for sharing that. I want us to essentially talk about what are some practical steps that creators and also entrepreneurs can take today so they can start working with brands from your agency point of view and expertise, of course.
Absolutely. I actually love talking to our creators about this stuff. I actually am like the SVP of talent. So my bread and butter is developing and growth of the client. I would say consistency would be number one. I know that's a hard one, but consistency is key. And I think the number one thing brands want to see is if you're consistent. They want to invest their time and money into somebody that is going to be consistent with their community and what they've built. So I would say consistency, also organic mentioning. So a lot of brands also want to hire someone that's authentic, like I mentioned in the past, and authenticity to them is number one. So if you've already been mentioning, like your favorite brand that you were saying 10 times already, it's like it would be a no-brainer to hire you as one of their ambassadors or one of their content creators for a one-off campaign because it's already been naturally mentioned into your content. So that would be the second thing that I would recommend. And the third thing that I would say is I think it keeps coming up, but you have to have a sense of community. So being a storyteller, being able to talk to the camera like you're FaceTiming like one of your fans, having that, that personality, and showing that, showcasing that, and not being afraid. Because sometimes I think creators think that you need to be this cookie cutter, like, oh no, like I have to schedule my content. Of course, each piece of content needs to be well thought out, but, you know, you just have to be yourself. I just see all these content creators that blow up from one day to the next, and it's because they were just being themselves. Like, they weren't even trying hard. Like, it wasn't something that they planned 2 months ago to do. Like, it was naturally, it happened, and they went on, turned on their phone and their camera, filmed themselves, and it went viral. It's always something that is natural to you. So don't overthink. And I know, once again, that'd probably be my last one. Like, just, it's hard, but not like, don't overthink it. Just be you. Be you.
I can totally relate to that. And as you're talking about these steps and practical steps, by the way, so make sure you all are taking notes. I'm thinking she's talking to me because every time I schedule content that is so square,
It
I
does.
mumble the most and I feel like my shoulders are high up in my ears. But when I'm having fun and I'm creating from a place of like, I just want to be so spicy today. Like, I'm just going to speak what I really think in a professional way, right? In playful way. I I just create and create and create. And people that follow me will say like, oh my God, you're having so much fun. I'm going to like your post. Or if I tell them what I want them to do, they literally will do it, but it's super organic. So it's not like comment on this reel. It's like, hey, with the brand that I'm dreaming of working with, I start saying like my favorite bank, and I will even do like a silly hand because they truly are my favorite bank. And so I started doing that, and that reel has been my most engaged and share reel to this day. So
And that's your
crossing my fingers.
particular branded thing that you did. I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that sometimes you do things naturally and you're like, "Oh, wait, that's something that I can actually be doing every single video so that when someone comes to my page, they know it's me." I've noticed some creators also use specific phrases or specific songs. So when they start creating the same series, it's like it gets stuck in your brain. Oh yeah, let me go check out this person because I love her content because it's so natural and authentic. Like, so yeah, so those are the little things that people really love.
Well, let's go ahead and take a break because I need to take notes. So go grab your notebook right now. If you're driving, pull over. We want to give you actionable steps. So let's go take a break and then come back.
What inspired me to join the academy in simple terms was change. I've had like this desire to like feel safe with my money and actually understand it and acknowledge it and actually feel secure with it. And before, like, I would feel like almost suffocated right here. Like, I just would be drowning. Like, I wouldn't understand, or yeah, I wouldn't understand nor see like those numbers. And the past 2 years, I've been focusing on building my foundation in 3 areas of my life, which were career, relationships, and finances. And then finances became more prominent that last December. My cousin sent me the podcast that you were featured in. When I heard your story, like starting as a housekeeper and transforming your life through like through that self-responsibility, tenacity, it just really resonated with me. And I immediately clicked like the show notes, visited like your website, booked a discovery call, and I think it was like the next week that I just met you and I was like, okay, I just knew like it was the academy aligned with not only my values and goals, but I just felt very seen and understood by you.
And we are back. So, Tatiana, what are some of the challenges that you see right now, especially in the digital space? Because I feel like we want to create, but then we're also bombarded with so many ads, so many things that, of course, hurt our communities. And so, what are some of the things that we can do to dismantle those barriers that we're seeing right now?
That's a very good question. I think there's a lot of things going on in our world. I think just to use as an example for us, one of the things that we did to try and dismantle, for example, like discuss a topic like immigration, we did a fundraiser to help with legal fees for an organization that helps immigrants to pay for to have an attorney. So I think there's several ways that you can use your voice when you're a creator. Doesn't need to get too political, but I mean, I think there's several ways that you can help the community to kind of like bring down the barriers of not being afraid to speak up. I think some creators want to stay very neutral. You gotta really think of your values and where you come from.
Why should creators right now not stay neutral, especially with everything going on?
Yeah, I mean, it's super important to support your community and be there for them, not just when it's needed. I think if you like, we're always encouraging our audience and our clients and our creators to speak up when things like this come up. They can make a change, to someone out there. And I think that they shouldn't be scared. I think one of the biggest things is that they're scared to like lose brand deals. I think that's like the number one thing that comes up. But I would rather be more supportive of my community and maybe like, lose a brand or two. But brand deals
Yeah,
always come and go, and you're not doing anything bad other than just using your voice to support the good. And I think brands see that actually, and I'm sure that they
100%.
see it and they're like, this is someone that we want to work with. So I tell them, don't be scared, I've had clients that have gone to protests, and I'm very proud of them for doing that. So if anything, we encourage it here at Lilac.
I
We don't
love it.
try to silence our creators.
I love that you're doing this for your creators and the people that you work with. So one of the things that we do here at Say Hola Wealth is we write checks. We write checks because we know the money has power. And so we are intentionally allocating resources to the agencies, the organizations that are helping our community. And we also leverage the real estate that we have. So sometimes we might not be here on social media posting or creating, but behind the scenes through the newsletter or even direct access to clients or brands, we're reaching out and saying, hey, here is what we need you to do. So I really appreciate you sharing that. Now, Tatiana, looking ahead, where do you see the future of multi marketing? Trends and what are the things that because I want you to talk to the brands because we have a lot of brands that listen to the podcast and I want you to talk to the brands like what are the opportunities that they are missing out by not working with an agency like.
I think for us, what I see is long term opportunities. We do focus a lot on that. Also, strategizing into what's next into their career. So, for example, creating a brand, writing a book, publishing. That's something that, licensing and publishing is something that we can definitely help out with. Building a team around them. So, if they get to a certain point in their career that we feel the abundance of brand deals are, you know, just something we can't support internally, or we feel like, what, maybe it's time to take you to that next level in terms of, once again, career growth. Then we find them an agent at a bigger agency and we stay as managers for them. and then even finding a publicist. So there's different ways that here at Lilac we think like, okay, like when's a good time to start doing something like this? When's a good time to start having those discussions about building them a brand? When is a good time to maybe discussing on releasing a podcast? So it's all about timing, and I think we're very, very well educated on having that like feeling. Sometimes it's like a gut feeling that it's like time. And I'm sure, you see their numbers and you're seeing like their growth and their followers and their audience and their engagement rate. And you're like, okay, now that window is open right now. I'll give you a huge example. Like one of my clients, Trevor, he's been with me for over 8 years. I've been representing him since he was 15, and he's a makeup educator and makeup beauty influencer. And he just hit 1 million on Instagram. He's on the way of hitting 2 million on TikTok. And he's just like, I mean, I feel like at this point we've been discussing of what are the next things for him, right? So definitely building a team, definitely talking about a collab that unfortunately I can't talk about, but there's different things that were already in the works. And so that's why I feel like you like, yes, Lilac is somewhere I would love for every client to be, but and it's always needs to be a good fit, right? But that's what managers do. I think there's a misconception of, oh, I'm going to get management to get more brand deals. It doesn't work that way. You have to have a brand already set in place. The brand deals are not going to come from the sky, right? Of course, we're going to be pitching and outreaching and planting seeds. And yes, sometimes the brand deals that come into your inbox could be a reflection of our work and how much we've put in. But then also it's also from you too. So it's like it takes two to tango. And I just don't want creators to think like, oh, I'm just gonna come to Lilac to try and make more money. That's not the mentality to have.
You have to show up and be consistent. That was one of the first steps that she told us, right?
Yeah, you have to put in the work as well.
Yeah.
Yes. It like I said, it's a team effort, right? And yeah, I think for us it's like what's bigger than just the one-off long-term brand deals? What's out there? Let's have conversations with brands to discuss a bigger conversation, right? About our clients, like one of our clients, Rocio, has mentioned you X, Y, and Z, so many times. And she's one of her favorite brands. These are her favorite products. What can we do outside of brand deals? We can do a meet and greet. We can do a collab. We can do her own line or her own product. So there's different things that go behind the scenes of strategy and being a manager and heading in the right direction with the client, because it's not just about collecting a check and let's move on to the next. It's bigger than that.
Now, you were talking about the clients that you have, and you were dropping like 1 million, 2 million, and I'm thinking I've only have like 11,000 across all
That's
platforms.
so
So
good.
on that note, how small is the creator that you work with? And when I say small, I don't mean to like make them feel small, but like how small is their community? Because people are going to get curious, like, hey, do I even qualify to be part of Lilac, or how does that work? Do you have a requirement?
I mean, we do, but for us it's more about, are you ready to take that, like, is the influx of brand deals so much that you can't handle it on your own? Because if you're closing a couple of deals a month, I would say it may not be worth it to get management, just because we do take a percentage. So I always want to be transparent and fair with the new clients coming in, that it kind of feels like it's more of like, oh, I want to focus on creating and now I can't deal with the business side of things. Now I need help. So it's more of a timing thing, because I mean, we do have smaller micro creators in our roster, that have like 30,000 followers. But once again, she's a very busy girl. The inbound is very healthy, and it's also easy for us to pitch her because she has a set brand and a look. And I kind of know, okay, this girl is going to be very, very big. She's going to make it very big. And she's one of my clients, actually. Her name is Tajane.
I
And
love that.
she is just And by the way, she has a 9 to 5.
Yeah, see,
And I want to say that and reiterate that because I also think that there's a misconception that content creators need to do this full time. Yes, once it gets to that point, it's like a timing. You can't just leave your job because you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm making X, Y, and Z. It's like if you're really busy, I mean, you're getting constant brand deals, you're closing brand deals, you're getting opportunities, you're now an ambassador for a brand, and it's getting to the point where yes, like you can't even focus on work. Then okay, yes, at that point, yes, leave your 9 to 5 and start working as a content creator full time. But there's a time for it, and I'm sure she's going to feel it once that happens. And I think we're going to feel it as well. As of right now, I think we're okay. Like she's got her job, we respect her schedule, but there's no really like a set following. It's just really dependent on the workflow.
100%. And I also want to add that you can have a 9 to 5 and have an LLC on the side. So as a financial educator and coach, I always tell my creators and my entrepreneurs, like build up your peace of mind, start investing, right? Like open the LLC, start investing because money is going to come and go and it's going to be inconsistent. Brands are going to love you. Brands are going to say, well, I need to pause. Other new brands are going to emerge. So Tatiana, thank you so much for coming to the show. This has been amazing. I love the conversation with you. And for the listeners, make sure that you follow Tatiana at the lilacagency.com. You can also check the link in the show notes. So Tatiana, before I let you go, what is your definition of wealth?
Well, that's a good question. I was like, I didn't prepare for that.
Whatever comes through right now.
Freedom.
I love that.
Right? Yeah.
I love that. We all want freedom. So
Yes.
with that being said, let's go ahead and build wealth juntas. Thank you again. Perfect. On the Say Hola Well podcast and its associated entities, all content provided is for general informational purposes only. This information is not intended as legal, accounting, tax, or other professional advice. Listeners are encouraged to seek guidance from qualified professionals such as accountants, financial planners, or attorneys before making decisions based on the content shared. We assume no responsibility for errors, omissions, or misinterpretation in the podcast of its associated materials. Additionally, we disclaim all liabilities from any defamatory, offensive, or inappropriate content shared by guests or contributors. By accessing this podcast and its related content, you acknowledge the terms of this disclaimer.